What's going on, everyone? Today we will be talking about the Human Centipede. Now, for those of you that have not watched this movie, it is a pretty messed up movie. It held a lot of memory-driven nightmares and just sickness for a lot of people back then, and sometimes nowadays when people watch it because of how weird and messed up it is. It dives right in to the character, Dr. Hyder. Sorry if I butcher that damn name. I'm looking at two dogs then stitched together, which is his first experiment. And then it pans to another picture that has actually three dogs. And while he is doing this, he's actually waiting for the victim and takes his gun from the back. And I just want to say real quick, how in the hell are you hiding this shit? And how did that dude not hear that door close when he slammed it? Jenny, Lindsay. So they're here to have a good old time and just not even know what the fuck to do. And then it goes to them driving around, lost in the dark, and not knowing where in the hell they're going. Plus, they're in the woods, so they don't really have any real good signal. And then they try and figure it out, and while touring around, their tire ends up popping. So they get out, squambling around, and then they just look at the tire and kick it and say, fuck, the tire is flat. Do you know how to change it? Nope, we don't. So then they pull out the phones, and I just gotta kind of let this scene play for a sec.
What? There's no signal. No. What? There's no signal. There's always a signal.
How stupid do you have to be to not know your phone is not gonna work in every single location? Like, come on, you are in the fucking woods, my guy. And then this weird ass dude just pulls up. But to me, I've seen parts of the second one, and that dude looks a little like the dude from the second movie. So I think we found a connection there. And then after that encounter, they chose to go out and they stumble on this house, so they walk up to it. And then that's when we find out that that is the house where the three dogs in the first scene were in the picture. And this is the actual killer's house. Well, scientist house too. So they go up doing the little pee dance. And this dude just comes up looking creepy as hell through the window, literally eyeing them up and down. And they try asking for a phone and for help. And he's just mostly giving them this weird ass look. So then they keep asking for a phone, and he's just asking weird ass questions. Oh, are you alone? Is it just you? And then he gives them the most devilish fucking look, and they are still okay with it. Just look at that look. He is literally giving the I'm about to take you into my basement and make you mine. He steps out to them, which creeps them out to invite them in. And then they go the fuck in the house like dumbasses. Going to the couch, him still being a weirdo, giving them weird ass fucking looks. Just gotta kinda let this scene play for a sec.
You're tourists.
We're on a road trip through
like
Europe.
European vacation.
We're from New York. Can you call the emergency car service for us?
Are you relatives?
No.
No, we're friends.
And then as he goes to go get them, Waddle, he actually is putting in roofies in them, and then goes to leave them alone while drinking, and goes to check up on the semi-truck driver that he kidnapped earlier in the first scene as well, saying that he is still alive and breathing. And then we come back to him being upstairs, and one of the girls feeling very off, sleepy and tired and dizzy, and then he full on just explains the side effects of being roofied and having the date drug. So the other girl starts freaking out, and he grabs her up and starts getting her in a leg choke almost, and then shoves a syringe in the back of her neck that makes her pass out. And then just look at this face for a minute. This is just a creepy ass face, and it looks like he also just messed up his pants as well. And then we come back seeing that she is fucking tied up in a hospital bed just like the other dude was. And then during that time, he went and killed the semi-truck driver due to, I believe, his health or not being the right type of person he needed for the experiment. And then they didn't really show how he did it, but he ended up kidnapping this other dude. I'm not going to say his name because I know I'm gonna butcher him. Let's just call him Jim. And then after that, it pans to him explaining that he used to operate with Siamese twins and stuck together.
Just gotta kind of let this scene play for a sec.
Scene operation, not separating anymore, but creating. I transformed my 3 Rottweilers into a beautiful 3-hound construction. Good news. Your tissues match. So happy. Operation only once. We start with cutting the ligamentum patellae, the ligaments of the kneecaps. So, knee extension is no longer possible. Pulling from B and C the central incisors, lateral incisors, and canines. From the upper and lower jaws. The lips from B and C, and the anus of A and B are cut circular along the border between skin and mucosa. The mucous-cutaneous zone. 2 pedicellated grafts are prepared and lifted from the underlying tissue. Circular mucosa and skin parts of anus and mouth. From A to B and B to C. Connecting the pedicellated grafts to the chin-cheek incisions. Fixed system. Ingestion by A. Passing through B. The excretion of C. A human centipede.
So after Lindsay escaped while the doctor was distracted and running around the house for a little bit, she ended up jumping into a pool trying to get away from him, and he for one came in with his gun, mocking that he was going to end up shooting her in one of the eyes. And then he knew if he did shoot her, he would end up losing his experiment, so he started closing the top of it, sorry I forget what it's called, and to make her forcefully come to the front. But she ended up not actually coming, so he started stressing out. But she ended up escaping because she was holding her breath a little longer, and then went to go get her friend and broke out of the window and almost nearly escaped. But since she was dragging her friend, it was weighing her down, and then he came up and shot her in the back with a tranquilizer, so she dropped down. And then it pans to him operating on them and doing the surgery and successfully making the human centipede. And while checking the stitches and making sure they're healing up well, we come to seeing them in a cage screaming, and then outside with him coming up to him with boots on because the dude tried biting him and hurting him, and then he tried making him walk. And then at this moment, the first dude already ate some food because of how starving he was, and he was about to poo, so the dude was literally yelling at him to poo in the second one's mouth. It was so disgusting and messed up, like, oh my lord. And then it comes to him checking on the girl and the guy, making sure that they're doing healthy and doing good. And then he checks on the very last one, and it turns out that she is actually dying from an infection by one of the decisions. So he even tells her this and says he needs to find a new subject. And then he gets visited by 2 detectives because he's been doing some shady shit. A lot of people have been coming up missing and they want answers, especially since it's drawn near him and they know his type of work, and kind of showing that he is the murderer. He goes down in the basement to check on his creation, I'll call it, and then gets sneak attacked by Jim, and he stabs him in the foot. So he ends up falling down, gushing, screaming, and then Jim comes up and just bites him on the neck. Now, I'm surprised he actually didn't finish him off right here, but holy cow, tops for Jim. And then he directs the other 2 that are connected to him to walk the same way he's walking, in which he comes up to stairs, the worst enemy for them now. So they're slowly and carefully making it up the stairs, and it pans back to this dude, and he actually is still beating and coming back after them and weirdly licking the blood off of the floor. Like, come on, guys, stop it. Jim and the girls are still fighting to get out here for their whole life. The girl, I believe it's Lindsay in the middle, trying to tell him to go to the window that she broke, not knowing that earlier he fixed it. So then they get into the room that she believes that the window is broken and keeps pointing him to which way to go. And he gets to the window and it's fixed. It's not broken anymore. And then the doctor ends up showing up into the room in which Jim grabs the glass looking at him. Into the audience, we're thinking, oh, it's about to be a full-on battle. Jim is going to take him down. But in the end, Jim just ends up laughing at him like the Joker. And then ends up ending it all, leaving the 2 girls sitting there. And then it turns to the doctor in the pool area after shooting one of the detectives. And the other detective comes in stupidly, might I say, just looking at his partner, seeing he just been shot, gets shot once, and then again, and then finally puts an end to that miserable doctor. And then we pan back to the victims of the surgery. The middle girl sitting there in agony, trying to hold her friend's hand as she's taking her last breath. And then it pans out as she screams. So yeah, that is the Human Centipede, guys. It is a very messed up movie. It's just weird as hell to me. I don't know why they made it, and I don't get why the actors even acted in it. I don't even know. But for the next 2nd and 3rd video, if you guys want that one, let's get this video to over 50 likes. And once we get there, I will drop the 2nd and 3rd movie. So here we go, guys. Thank you all so much for all the subscribes, likes, and comments, and watching the video. Turtle Map out.